some introductions, and we're going to start to dig into the actual content. So there's a lot to cover, and so we're going to try and move as quickly as we can. So have fun with that, because none of this is anything but all of us trying to make things happen for each of our projects, businesses, whatever it is that we're working on in this process together. So here's what we're going to do tonight. Welcome overview. We'll do the project pitching, which I think I gave you a little preview that you'll have an opportunity to share briefly what it is that you're trying to work on. Then we're going to dig into helping you figure out what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it, so that you have a sense of what you're trying to accomplish in your business or with your project. Then we're going to start talking about the actual details of what it is that you're doing, and we're going to do a quick preview for the next class, and then we're going to be done. So it's going to go fast. You will have a lot of time tonight even to get feedback from folks around the room on your mission, on your vision, on what it is that you're working on. So be excited to have sort of a little board of directors, a little group of folks to help you out. And that will change every single time. You're not going to be assigned to a group in any way. This will all be switching around. So here's how the class runs. We spend 8 different sessions going through the different pieces of essentially a business planning process, but it's kind of business planning with a twist, because along the way you're going to be prototyping whatever it is that you're actually focusing on for you. So if it may be your entire business, it may be a specific product, it may be a new service that you're thinking about adding to your financial repertoire. But you're going to start with the mission and vision. We're going to move into venture description, which is really getting clear about what it is that you're doing. We'll be talking about the benefits of what it is that you're making, and we'll jump into market analysis. Then we're going to do a pretty heavy, intensive session on research, so that you get into who else is doing the work that you're doing, what does it look like, who are your competitors, what does the world look like, and how is that impacting your ability to sell what it is that you're doing. Then you're going to actually start prototyping. So everybody is going to create a little version of what it is that you're trying to make or try along the way. And then we're going to start talking about money, because once you've made it through a little bit of your project and you've made something, you know how long it took you, you know how much it cost you to make it, you'll want to start digging into what is the value of that product and how do your financials play into all of that. Then we'll get you started on project formation and essentially figuring out, how am I going to do this for the long term? Who do I need? What are my strengths and weaknesses? And who do I need to fill in the gaps for the things that I know I need to have done if I want to succeed, but I don't have that skill? And then we're going to, because you've made it, again, throughout these pieces in here, you're still working on your prototype. So by the time we get here to marketing strategy, you finally know what it is that you're doing. Because I guarantee you that when you start here tonight, whatever it is that you think that you're in here to talk about and to work on may shift by the time you get to here. Because you will have gotten feedback along the way from everybody in the room and from people outside the world, and you will have made something in some fashion that you will be testing and trying and discovering, wow, maybe I need to be going in another direction, or maybe this just isn't going to work, or maybe it's really working so well that I need to amp it up in a different way. So by this point, you'll be ready to start talking about marketing strategy. Then we'll get you into presentation skills, which will be building on the shift workshop stuff that we did, but really this is about you presenting something that is worthwhile and appropriate for what you need. So it's not like you're going to make a presentation to a banker if you have no intention of going to a banker. That doesn't make a ton of sense for you. But if you know that you struggle with your retail sales, maybe it is actually a presentation for you to actually close a sale. So we're really going to dig into those presentation skills here for that. And then the final session are the presentations themselves. So the calendar, which this is all in your book, by the way, and you have emails about this, but here are the dates. So we will not be meeting next Monday. Halloween is yours to enjoy however you choose. But these are all Mondays, always from 5:30 to 8:30, always here. And the big break is notice that after Thanksgiving, we don't meet again until the next year. So you've got 5.5, 6 weeks off to really be working on your prototype over the holidays or whatever you choose to do. So here's what we do. This is going to be somewhat similar to the shift workshop in that you're going to get some lecture-y moments from me. You'll see videos, but mostly a big part of what will happen is you will be doing work in this class. So for many of you, this may be the one time a week that, or in a month, that you have time to spend on your business that isn't actually you doing your business. So we want to make sure that you're spending your time here as well as you can. We know that some of you are going to choose not to do homework because you just don't have time, or it is not the same priority for you. But in the class time that we spend together, you will have time to work on your projects. So you can't miss out on any of the stuff that's happening here. The other thing that we'll be doing is you have access to lots of things online, and you all will be creating a mastermind team for yourselves. So by the end of this course, you'll have some accountability tools because each of you will be in some sort of smaller group that you have self-selected to keep some accountability going on. Because I guarantee you that after a couple of weeks of this, you start to get invested in each other's projects. And it's nice to have some people who know about what you're working on, who care, and actually can give you solid feedback that you trust and that you know are going to give you some good thoughts about how you're moving forward. So we won't actually train you to do that work until the class when we talk about project management. But just know that that's part of what we want to make sure that you all have access to going forward. Most of our Evolve participants are still meeting in their mastermind groups because even after now 2 years, for some of them, of being out of the classes, once a month, they find it valuable to be with the people that they went through this course with because it's a check-in point for them to talk about what they're getting done, how they're doing, and that it's somebody who knows what they've been up to. So, I'll be your instructor for the duration, but we have some awesome people who you should recognize from the shift workshop who are here as well, who will be sitting in, helping out, facilitating, providing some feedback along the way, and in some cases helping with some coaching as well. So that's sort of how we run that. And I do want to talk just briefly about coaching. It is not a requirement of this course or anything really, but you may have experienced in your shift workshop that 15-minute session of having somebody thinking about and having you talk about what am I trying to do and what are my next steps to get there is useful. So whether it's using a coach or, and we do have places for that to start after the second course, but you can also use the website and the accountability buddy that we talked about in the shift workshop as well as a way to keep yourself on track. So on the website, how many of you have registered? I know not everyone has. But it is not a requirement. The good news is a bunch of your book stuff is on the website, so all of the additional resources that you're never going to type into your computer are all linked there, so you can at least pop in and go directly to the videos that we use, to the websites that we're suggesting. Some of the tools are all right there. The other thing that's on the website, of course, are fillable versions of the forms and templates that are in each of your classes as well. So if there's something that you want to do, you have a blank version of it, you can pull it down, download it, and do this work here or for another project that you may want to do in the future. So on page 6 of your first chapter, and note each of the chapters has its own table, its own numbering system. So sorry, this doesn't go up to 230. We're in class 1, and on page 6, you will see a little self-evaluation. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to just do a quick evaluation to think for yourself yourself about how you're feeling about what you're going to be doing over the next several weeks.